I wanted to come on here and talk about mental health because May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and if you watch my channel for any amount of time, you would probably pick up on the fact that mental health is something that is very important to me. It's something that I value very much. But it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always that way for me. And I just want to preface this video. This is not a cry for help. This is not a pity party. I genuinely just enjoy talking about this kind of stuff. I like talking about mental health. I like talking about, um, I like talking about like feelings. I like talking about this kind of stuff. But it wasn't always that way. It was not always that way. And I made a video last July, I believe. I made a video a while back, like talking about like I've made several videos on mental health, but specifically I made a video titled "My Mental Health Journey So Far." And I won't go down that rabbit hole again, but I wanted to talk about specifically about like my knowledge of mental health. So like I talk about the reason why I talk about my childhood so much is because it's important. It's important to talk about your childhood. When I was back in school, I was a bully. Not so much in the fact, not in like the typical sense of like I push kids around, but I was a bully in the fact that I was like, I mean, the perpetual cycle of bullying is just like when you've been hurt, you feel insecure, so you hurt other people to make yourself feel better. And that's what I did. I was hurt, so I felt insecure, so I would hurt other people. And this is more of a tangent, but I realized that like a lot of the reason why but I wasn't aware of the fact that I was insecure. I was just like, and that's kind of the thing is like back then I wasn't like aware of anything. I didn't understand my own emotions. I didn't understand like my own feelings because I maybe some people did, but like for me it's like I didn't grow up in an environment where I was never encouraged to like talk about my feelings. I never understood like why do I feel this way. It was always just the thing of like you just stuff it down, just keep pushing forward. Just you don't talk about your feelings. I wasn't directly told that, but it was very it was very like the notion was given of like just like nobody, it's just nobody ever talked about their feelings. Nobody in my environment growing up like talked about was ever vulnerable. Nobody ever talked about their feelings. And like so I just didn't, I never understood mental health. And like I don't know if other people had this, but like when we would have like oh, mental health awareness, like I was the type of kid where like you know maybe I'm projecting, but like a lot of kids were like I feel like when you're a teenager, you're like so like insecure, like you're like when you talk about mental health, it's like, oh, I gotta be tough. I gotta like act like it's hard to be vulnerable. It's harder to be vulnerable at that age. Maybe I'm projecting, but like for me, it's like I always had a hard time like because I just didn't understand myself. I didn't understand like my own emotions. I didn't understand like anything about myself. Um, and I still struggle with it. I still struggle to like feel things. I still struggle to like I still to this day like I oftentimes struggle to like um express my emotions. I oftentimes like bottle up my feelings a lot of the time, which is not healthy. Because it's easier. It makes it easier. It makes it less painful. Um, and like sorry, I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but yeah. As I get older, I realize like how important it is to like be vulnerable and how important it is to like it's not even about being positive all the time. It's not even about like you know, it's like I bottled up my feelings for so long that like just a few years ago when I actually started to like spend time alone and actually like reflect on my actually for the first time actually start to feel things, it was overwhelming. It was overwhelming because I was like for the first time I'm like, oh my god, like you unscrew the bottle and it's like poof. It's like Jesus fucking Christ, all these emotions I've been bottling up that I wasn't even aware of. I wasn't even aware that I was bottling them up. And it was both positive and it was both negative and positive. Every emotion I was just bottling up and I was just like distracting myself because I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to feel my emotions. And when I unscrewed the bottle, so to speak, yes, it was overwhelming, but it was also like freeing. It was also very freeing because I was like, and that's what it's all about. It's just about mental health is like, and it's still, there is a stigma. There is a societal stigma around mental health. And I, even though I am a big proponent of mental health, even though I really gravitate towards people who talk about their mental health and are able to be vulnerable and able to like talk about their feelings, I still struggle. I still, there's this like, what's the word? I can't think of the word right now, but there's this like feeling in me where it's like I feel like I'm like I can't talk about my feelings. I have to bottle everything up and just keep pushing on. Because it's I don't know. It's just, again, this is not like a cry for help. It's just I like talking about this stuff. I realize, going back to the tangent, going back to the bullying, like I just realized that like that's the thing about mental health is that there's just it's such a wide, it's not just about like being like, for me at least, it's not just about like being positive, being happy all the time. It's about just like feeling your emotions. Mental health is just about like not, maybe I'm oversharing, but that's not something I would do. But like I realized over the years that like, oh yeah, no, I have a lot of like I've been through a lot, and I was just normalizing a lot of that. And I thought it was just so normal, but like, man, like once I started to like actually and this goes back to like this is what all of this is about. This is what all of these videos that I make are about. It's just about mental health. That's the center of it all. It's the backbone of society. It's just mental health. And it's not something that we talk about enough. I'm not saying just like we hold hands and just be like Whoville and just be like, oh. I'm just saying like, for me, just like I once I started getting into journaling, I realized that like, and I started to just like understand myself, and I started to just understand myself more, and I started to like actually feel my emotions, and I started to like actually like be like, oh, I don't have to just be like I don't have to be nice all the time. I don't have to be, because I had a lot more people pleasing tendencies when I was younger because I just didn't have the confidence to like say no. Once I started journaling, I just realized that like, oh, and I started actually like just like allowing myself to like be like, hey, it's like, wow, I'm not okay. I'm not happy. And I just was like, instead of just like constantly just like distracting myself from those negative emotions, I allowed myself to just feel those negative emotions. I sat with those negative emotions. And yeah, it's tough. Yeah, it's uncomfortable. Because like the ultimate goal again is not to just be like, let's fix that. Let's fix that as fast as possible and just like, I mean, the goal isn't, happiness is just an emotion, just like any others. it's not, because that was my problem. It's just like I I want to feel that. It's important to feel those negative emotions. It's important to, like, you know, be like, just like sit with those feelings. It's important because it allows you to just be honest with yourself. It allows you to just be like, hey, wow, I'm like, I've been lying to myself for so long, and man, I'm just like, how the fuck did I get through this? And yeah. But going back to the bullying that I used to do, it all comes down to the insecurity. And I realized that, like, once I stopped, like, projecting, once you stop projecting your own anger. I was a very angry teenager. Underneath the people pleasing, underneath, like, the just, like, make everybody happy all the time and be nice to everybody, there was a lot of anger underneath, and I still have it. I still have that anger underneath me. Not as much because I'm aware of it. That's the thing, is I'm aware of it now. I wasn't aware of it before. I was just stuffing down all those feelings. And the thing about when you stuff down feelings, those feelings, they don't just go away. That's not how it works at all. You might think it makes you feel better, like, I just gotta shut up. Those feelings like, no, and they come rising back up. That's how emotions work. You don't get to just, it's not, you don't get, that's not how it works. They don't just disappear. They always just will come back, and they will always, once you realize that, like, those negative emotions, those negative feelings that you are experiencing, they're trying to tell you something. They're trying to, like, be like, hey, something isn't right. Or, hey, it's okay to feel pain. It's okay to feel those emotions because it's important to, like, be like, and once I started to feel those negative emotions, once I started to, like, feel that sadness, that pain, I felt more connected to myself. Not in a narcissistic way, maybe a little bit, but, like, more so just, like, you feel more like, oh, because I'm being honest with myself. I'm not just, like, like, shoving my feelings away. I'm being like, hey. And the thing is, I still struggle with this every day. I go days at a, maybe sometimes even weeks at a time where I'm just completely detached from my emotions. And it's really frustrating. It's a learned habit that I have. It's a learned habit that I have that I'm trying to fix. Or not fix, just trying to figure out why. That's the thing, is you try to figure out why you're feeling this way. It's not about fixing it. It's about figuring out why. So yeah, I hope any of you took something from this, because I can talk about this for hours on end. Because it's something that I enjoy talking about. That's the truth of all this. It's not a pity party. It's not a cry for help. It's just, I enjoy talking about this stuff, because that's how you really connect with people. That's how you really get honest with people, is you become vulnerable. You be vulnerable. That it's important. That's how you connect with people, is through vulnerability. Yeah. But yeah, it's still and there's still things I'm hiding, not intentionally. There's still things that I'm trying to figure out. But that's the thing, is like, whatever works for you, go with it. So I hope this helped anybody. Again, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. Whatever works for you. Don't ignore. Again, I don't know anyone's situation, but you are good enough. You are good enough. If anybody needs to hear that, just know that you are good enough. You are loved. You are enough. That's the thing. You are enough. You are. That's the thing, is like you are. Yeah, this video was all over the place, but that's how it usually goes with me. So, mental health, something I really value. If you want to know something about me, it's that I really value mental health. So, I hope you took something out of this today. Whatever it was. I don't even remember what I talked about half the time, but I hope this helped anybody watching. If it didn't, oh man, dislike the video. Dislike it so hard. Let me hear it. Let me hear the constant. But if it did help, I'm glad, because that's the goal. You are enough. So, bye-bye.